Hey, Royale Relatives. I feel like I have another word for you all. Now, I don't know what it is, but it's like God been speaking to me, like in the night. So, like, I'm definitely going to be whispering. And in case you haven't noticed, I haven't been putting like any thumbnails or like any introductions or exit type of like promotions or anything like that, because literally they just been like freestyle, and I'm like, as soon as I hear it, I'm just gonna give it. So yeah, let's just flow, let's talk. So the word that God has given me in this late hour was so the first thing I heard was destiny hounds. I was hearing destiny hounds. Okay, so I have a story I want to tell you in the Bible that kind of like gives you an example of what I mean by that. And hopefully it encourages somebody. So, personally for me, it reminded me when I heard God say that, it reminded me of this dream I had like a long time ago, like when I was pregnant with my first daughter. That's how long ago it was, okay? I think I told you all this dream on my Instagram. I said I was going to delete it, but God was like, hold, hold, hold. So, yeah, so in the dream, basically, I was like a watcher. And I was looking like just above these two guys, okay? So, one had discovered that he had many little gems, right? Okay, so he only seen himself because he felt like he had it all. And then he looked over and seen another individual appear, but this one only had one gem, but it was the biggest gem of them all. And so when the first one who had the many gems realized that, he grew, I guess you could say, like jealous, or coveting. I heard coveting. So he started to covet his neighbor's belongings, right? So he felt like he deserved that gem. So he went ahead and started to chase. He started to chase the man with the one gem because he felt like he was the one who deserved it. Okay, so so this man started to chase him, right? Chase, 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 and he got really, really close to this man. The other one with the one gem. The one with the mini got really close to the one with the one gem, right? So just before he can grab him at his ankles, the one with the one gem began to cross over, like the Passover. And I woke up, okay? So it made me think about, like, when I came out of that dream. I can still remember it like yesterday. It was so vivid. When I came out of that dream, I started to think, like, okay, it reminded me of Moses and Pharaoh, where Pharaoh undermined Moses and he seen no value in him, really truly. I mean, he did, but he really didn't. He felt like he was no threat until he began to declare powers over that kingdom, okay? And then he started to, the Pharaoh became boastful, like, who are you? You are nothing. Okay? You were grafted in. You are, Yahweh is gracious to you. Okay? In other words. So when he realized that Moses was more excellent than him, he began to chase him and hound him. And we see this type of scenario a lot. I'm pretty sure there's many stories out, folklores and things like that about the same type of scenario. So anyway, I'm like, God, I felt like he wanted me to say something. And so I'm like, what is it that you want me to say? Like, what is it that you want me to, what is it that you want me to, nonsense. That ain't but the devil. I'm like, what is it that you really want me to say? Like, you're giving me all of this, and this is not the first time you're giving it to me, nor is it the second time that you're giving it to me, God. So I'm sure that you're giving it to me because you want me to prove a different point. You want me to bring a different aspect about it. And so he took me to 1 Kings chapter 3, 16 through 28. Okay, so I'm not gonna read the whole thing because it's fairly lengthy, and besides, I know the story anyway. So this story is basically based off of King Solomon, which is King David, the man after God's own heart, the one who slayed the giant, the honorable one in God's eye. This is his son, okay? So his son became ruler over the nations and inherited all of David's wealth and everything like that. But he, seeing that his father wasn't as wise in ruling the kingdoms, and so he asked God for wisdom, and God granted him unmerited, unlimited, powerful wisdom, okay? And so in this particular story, Solomon had to be a judge between two women, okay? So each woman had given birth to a baby, right? So they were both in the same house as this was happening, okay? And so one woman's child died and the other woman's child lived, okay? So here we go with the good and bad thing, all right? So the one with the good heart child survived, but the one with the bad heart child died, okay? And so the one with the dead child grew envious of the one who was of the living, okay? So she grew envious and she wanted to have a child so bad that she stole that woman's child, okay? And so obviously the true mother was grieved. It's like, you took my baby. Are you crazy? You don't understand what it feels like. I mean, she did, but it's like, but you don't, because this is mine that lived. That's my reward, and you're stealing from me, okay? So she went to King Solomon, the woman who child survived or lived, and she reckoned with him, or I'm sorry, she convinced him and pleaded with him that he would side with her in regards to her matter. So he brought both of the women to the courts, right? And brought them before the council. And so he knew that the only way he would be able to find out the truth about which mother was the real mother was if he put the child up for a sacrifice, okay? So he said, okay, so this is what we're going to do since we don't know what's going on. We're going to take the baby and we're going to give each woman half. Crazy, right? So one woman was like, fine, she get half, I get half. But she don't get the baby to herself, okay? And the other woman was like, oh my God, keep the baby. You can have the baby, okay? You can have the baby. And so at that moment, Solomon knew the true mother of that child. And he gave the baby to the woman who said, you can have the baby. Because any real mother know that she wouldn't want to see her child in harm. It hurts you to see your baby even sick, let alone harm. So she like, I would rather you take my baby and act like you the mother than for you to completely destroy my baby, okay? And so when he gave the child to the woman it belonged to, the other woman lost it. She lost it, and the true colors began to show of who was good and who was evil. So the moral of the story that God gave me was, either you're going through this, or you're witnessing this happen, where in this case, and this is why I told you in the beginning about the diamond, okay, because the moral is destiny, the baby is destiny, the gem is destiny, okay. So there's one who has their own fate, their own way, and maybe it's dying, or maybe it died, but that's because that is the reaping of what they sow, okay. And so this one who has come to an end or is dying is envious of the one who is giving birth and who's living. And so they want to take this destiny from this one, and they rather, it's like, okay, even if we shared it, I would be okay with it. At least I have something that is not dead. And so it's like the one whose destiny it really is even sat back and said, you don't have to reach, it is handed to you. If it's yours, then take it. If you can take it, it can be yours. But this one couldn't take it because it does not belong to them. And so and so God said, the baby I'll give to the one who is originally destined to have that baby. And so now you're going to witness, or you are seeing this, the one with the one gem, or the baby, to cross over into safety, to pass over. And so as this one, the one that it doesn't belong to, is grabbing a hold of the ankle, I'm sure this one will be drowned out by the water, just like the Pharaoh was while Moses and all of the chosen people were crossing the sea, the Red Sea. And so I just believe that God is calling me to say something like that, because he want to clear some things up, okay. God is throwing his weight around, okay, because real diamonds don't crack under pressure. So he's going to throw his weight around. He's going to put pressure on some things, so that when you see stuff fold, and when you see stuff crash and crack and fall and destroy, and you see discrepancies, and you're seeing like things that it's not lining up, it's not adding up, it's no longer smooth, and the wool is being pulled from your eyes, that's because God is judging now. Judgment, I'm hearing like judgment is being passed for the greater good. For the greater good. God is not going to allow his word to be on hold for nobody. Now, he might allow some things to play out. Sometimes God will allow people to hang themselves. So he going to give them their time. But in the end, when God say enough is enough, enough is enough. Okay? So hopefully, because I'm running out of time, this blesses you, this speaks to you, this brings comfort, this brings clarification, edification even, or just was something to hear that was inspirational. But I do believe that the Lord was calling me to say this today, and hopefully it reaches the ears that it was meant to. And make sure, if you like what you're getting, that you like, comment, subscribe, share. It's gospel, so the good news is too good to keep it to yourself. All right, so Royal Relatives family, see you in the next video. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your night.